We're back on dry land, and why are we starting the video here? Because this day started like any other. High hopes, high expectations of good fish. However, we had an on-water almost catastrophe, which could have been far worse than what it was. Now, I don't know how to, tell you exactly what happened right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the video as we started it, expecting the fish with the normal intro and so forth, and just see how it all panned out. But all I can say is we almost sunk a boat today in some pretty treacherous stuff. Here we go. What is that? Smurf spoof on my face? Oh, well, now that I've got your attention, we are going to be chasing massive pelagics out of a tiny boat, being the 410 Polycraft with these. The CID hard body lures. They're long, they're hard, and they catch a lot of fish. Let's go. So we're out here this morning, launching off Lancelin. We've got young Earl here, who's also had a minor mishap with the Smurfs. And we are with Jack from Rush Gang Fishing.
G'day, guys.
Check this little tinny out. What a setup. He's got all the beautiful DC deck stuff. How good's that, how they've inscribed your name into it? That's premium. And he's running the new Honda as well. Unbelievable. You can tell Jack's nice and organised.
Yeah, and I got nothing ready whatsoever, and I just about ran over a cow on the way here, so...
Yeah, so Jack had a minor incident with a cow, and I suppose it does highlight the dangers of highway driving, but the cow probably deserved it anyway.
Oh man, it's stupid.
We probably could have just cut him up, had him for dinner.
Really?
There's a demersal ban, but there's no cow ban.
Nah.
But anyway, we're not going to waste a huge amount of time. We're going to get out on that water. It's blowing a little bit of an easterly at the moment, so there's no real rush to get off this beach. But as you can see, we've got pretty mill pond sort of weather here, not even a bloody wave on the shoreline. And yeah, we'll get out there. Everyone's excited. It's early. But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right, let's go. Well, we made it out here, but it is absolutely rank out here. Oh, I don't know why the weatherman cannot get this even remotely right. It's meant to be maximum 5 knots at the moment, and here we are well and truly in the 12 to 15 out here. We decided to stay in shallow. We're in 15 meters of water rather than punching out to 30. And that's just purely from a safety aspect. I mean, obviously we've got all the right gear on board if something went wrong, but that's not the point. We don't want things to go wrong. We don't want to have to use that gear. So yeah, as I said, it's rank out here, but we are trolling. There, we better mark that little spot. And the best thing about what we're doing here is we're watching that sounder the whole time for beautiful little shallow water pinnacles, which we can use for crayfishing. Or when the demersal ban finally lifts again, we might even be able to sting a few demersals off these areas. But anyway, I'm going to get back to driving aimlessly for miles and see if we can pick up a mackie or two. So this is how this has unfolded. A bit of an emergency at sea. See Jack over there, his boat's filled completely up with water. We don't know why. Could be a split hull. But in circumstances like this, guys, you have to pack up and you have to come in. It's so important that you look after your mates, especially when you're 2 up, okay? And that's why Jack and I, we fish 2 boats in this rougher weather purely for this reason, safety. As I said, we don't know why that boat's filled up with water, okay? It could be a million reasons. But at the end of the day, it's still filling up. For some reason, his bilge pump doesn't seem to be working either. But on a rough day like this, where aluminium dinghies do slap a fair bit, there's every possibility that a welder has given or or even a crack down, let's say, down the keel, okay? That's probably going to be your most likely reason for a boat to fill up. I think with the amount of water that's in the transom of his boat, he definitely would have noticed if it was filling up from waves coming over, okay? You would have seen it, so that would have been good. You got to check this out though, guys. Have a look at this. Kid's on a little 10-foot tinny. Now that's got to be filling up with water. But as I said, guys, you've always got to be on the ball with your mates. You've got to look after them. And you know, as I said, Jack would be doing the same thing for me, so I've had no problems packing up my gear. But stay tuned because we are going to see exactly what's happened. We'll get this boat up on the trailer, which could be a bit of a problem. But we'll work it all out and we'll see how much water's actually in the back of this boat, because I don't think it's going to be a small amount. We'll see you when we're back on shore. Still just slowly making our way in, but you can see how transom heavy that boat is. I mean, Jack's barely in gear there. We're doing 4 knots, and you can just see how high that bow wants to be lifting. And Jack's not a big fella, you know, he's quite skinny. So yeah, you can see that there's litres and litres and litres of water down the back of that boat. But as I said, we'll check it out as soon as we get back on land. And yeah, that's how today's wrapping up. Not what we hoped for. I mean, I'd much rather be on the mackerel, but this weather simply isn't permitting that at all. But yeah, stay tuned, guys, because I think yeah, when it's back up on the trailer, she's going to tell a story. So if we have a look down here, bilge pump's been cranking and the boat is pretty much flat on the beach, and we've still got that much water down the transom. So I'm certainly estimating a couple of 100 litres in the bottom of this boat. So it'll be interesting to see what happened and why it started sinking. But yeah, certainly an interesting twist to the day. But let's get it up on the trailer and we'll see what's going on. What happened, Jack?
Oh, I don't know, mate.
What happened, Jack? why are we back on the beach early, Jack?
My boat turned into a swimming pool.
It's like a submarine. It's the new model of Stacer 420 submarine.
Submarine model.
It's a submarine model.
I could buy this one if I want.
But no, we don't know what's happened exactly. But this just shows how much water this boat took on. I mean, that's not small amounts of water coming out of that hull. Oh.
Not ideal.
No, that's absolutely gross. But guys, that's where I'm going to wrap this episode up because, yeah, as I said, we're back on the beach now. That's Mackie Sesh 101 over, minus the mackerel. But that's okay, because as I said, guys, the important part when doing this tiny boat fishing for these larger fish is to sometimes be in pairs, especially when it's a bit rougher, because this enabled, if anything really did go wrong with this boat or it did properly start going down, Jack could have just jumped straight on mine and we would have still been okay, so there wouldn't have been a problem.
I was definitely happy when I seen you coming from the distance. And I was like looking at my water, I'm like, Brendan's there. Worst case, we're okay.
Worst case, we're still safe.
Worst case, we're all right.
But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go rescue Earl because I've left Earl on the boat. Now he's beached as. And yeah, that wraps up what we did today. So until the next episode, guys, stay safe, keep your stuff in good order. And keep in mind, like when you're out on small boats in rougher weather, unpredictable stuff just like this can happen.
It definitely wasn't nice out there, was it?
Oh no, that was...
It was pretty miserable.
That was probably some of the worst stuff I've been out in a long time.
I'm actually happy I'm on land, to be honest with you.
I'm going to head back out.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
I got home for coffee.
All right, guys, until the next episode, we'll catch you later.